Yo, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. It's Killzone, baby. We're hopping in there. We got the Night Watch Zone hanging out with us. What's up, my friend?
Bro, I'm just ready to do this. I was like, we were so scared, and man, we gotta talk about this, man. We gotta get going. We gotta get going.
I'm just so hyped up because, even though I thought no trailer had come out, and that's why the stream is titled No Scream 7 Trailer. Well, thank God it has just come out an hour ago. Knight, what was your first impressions of this new trailer? That it really did show a lot more.
Man, listen, we talked about they were gonna retread some things, and that's par for the course. But bro, I gotta admit, we've been waiting what 2 months for something, and I was just like, thank God. Thank God. This is the best looking Ghostface, like as far as the shots that we've seen, like in motion, that I might have ever seen. Like, I don't know if this Ghostface killer is a gymnast, but they have to be very young and spry. And oh my God. Oh my
When
God.
I just am loving the scene where Ghostface is jumping off of the roof of Sydney's house. I did not think
Dude.
that's where we would get to, just tackling Tatum to the ground. Where is this going? My God.
I'm like, they're fighting. This is even more like intense than like when Samantha was going off on Richie or Wayne. I'm like, bro, seriously. Oh my God.
It's going to be intense. It's truly going to be intense. Guys, there's no trailer. We're totally lying to you right now. The chat is blowing up.
Like,
Night. I don't know if you're
we're gonna die.
Dude, I had to. I'm like, I gotta cut this short. About like maybe 20 chats came through, which was like, what trailer? What are you talking about right now?
Hey, Critical knew what was up. He said, I can't believe the chat fell for it. Critical knows what's up. Oh Lord.
Oh my God, that was too fun. You know what though, if Ghostface jumps off the roof and tackles Tatum to the ground, that would be insane. That would be
crazy.
Now I want it to happen. No, but
yeah, you gotta have it happen now. I mean, something like that actually wouldn't surprise me, because what we did see in the first trailer, dude, that Ghostface knows how to move around.
That's almost what came to mind. I was like, well, he's in the attic, so maybe he could be on the roof. I'd buy that.
Why not? Why not?
I would totally buy that. But yeah, guys, sadly, topic of conversation tonight is, where's this Scream 7 trailer? What's going on with the marketing? Are we starting to get worried? What's going on right now? I don't know. But do you want to say,
wow.
Are you, well, you know what? Let's just hop into that. Are you worried at all, Night? Like, do you think they got to start marketing some stuff, or what's your thoughts?
I really do think that this was the time to start this thing up. You know what I mean? Now, again, I'm just a fan who talks on YouTube and other platforms, by the way, too. But maybe they have a master plan. Maybe the marketing will start next week. I did say like next week is definitely like the lock. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And again, I don't know anything, but I'm just saying, next week would be the 15th. That's the middle of January. I couldn't imagine like releasing a trailer after that and still getting the effect that either that the studios would want, or that most movies would enjoy from that second trailer. That second trailer is supposed to, take the embers that were left from the first trailer hype and just like boom, start cooking it and get us ready to go into the theater. So like I said, man, I am very concerned. For all we know, maybe they'll drop the trailer tonight or tomorrow. Who knows at this point? It's crazy.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of comments come through talking about like how the marketing usually goes for these. We do usually get a second trailer at this point, or at least, some more things have at least come along. I mean, we did get a new still today from USA Today, which was exciting. A new shot of Ghostface, which is currently on the thumbnail of the stream you're watching. So we got that. We know that an Ice Nine Kills music collaboration is coming. For me, it sounds like we're still like in the the calm before the storm, before it starts to get really crazy. crazy. But
Right.
I'm wondering, I guess I'm just wondering when it's all going to hit, because we're getting down to the wire. We're getting close to this thing. Are they just going to go nuts for that like month before? You know what I mean? Is that the strategy this time around? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what they're thinking of doing, is just kind of condensing that time frame and just go nuts. And I can't, obviously we don't know for sure until, the movie comes out and we see how the box office is and how it all plays out. But it just seems like that's such a risky thing. It just seems, when you have a movie that's coming out, that's a big time movie, regardless of genre, when you're a month out, you're usually seeing marketing. You're seeing either the trailer or the little, snapshots on TV or streaming or whatever, and you usually have more stills. Like for Scream, I was like so hyped to see what the character posters were going to be. We haven't gotten those.
That's a
You
really good
know,
point too. Yeah.
so it's like, I mean, do you remember like for um was it 6 or 5? Maybe it was, yeah, I think it was 6. I mean, we even had really cool stuff all over the place, even like with Creepy Duck, doing variations of the poster and stuff, just feeding the fire. Like it was like all the time. And, every week there was at least something that we could look forward to and see and maybe talk about and speculate. But it's been so dry since the drop of that first trailer. I'm concerned, you know.
It has definitely been a drought. I have a few other things I want to throw your way in a second here that
Mm.
I'm excited to talk about regarding Scream 7's marketing. First, I want to say hi to some wonderful folks who are watching us, hanging out at home. Samantha is with us. What's up? What's up? First in the chat, Samantha's been first like multiple streams in a row. Like you're just killing
Right?
it. MVP over here, Samantha. So much love. Hauntastic Harbinger. Love
I
that.
love that.
Love that name. Very good stuff there. I appreciate this. You're saying your conformity gate review was fire, though you forgot to mention the part where Shrek led an army of Soviet soldiers against Vecna while Vader was choking Eleven, only for Gandalf to revive her with a spell. I couldn't fit it in the review. It's such a huge plot point. I mean, how can I just talk about that with one little snap of the sentence? I mean, my God. But I really appreciate you for watching that, man. That was so much. I made that in 15 minutes, and I've gotten so many comments about it, so that makes me really happy. Thank you. Not Randy Meeks is hanging out with us, saying would like to see Alicia Weir and Jenna Cannell in a future Scream film. Oh man, that would
Ooh.
rock.
Yeah, Jenna Cannell needs to be in something, bro. Like that would be so cool.
She's directing a film. She's directing like a little indie film.
That's what I thought I heard. Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm always happy to see, especially when actors or actresses get a chance to like get into some other aspects of filmmaking. That's cool. It really is.
100%. And Alicia is also great in Abigail, so would love to see her work with Radio Silence or be in Scream or something again at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would love that. Love both those suggestions. Not Randy Meeks, some great stuff there. Kelly Stroh Snyder, thank you so much for being a member. Greatly appreciate you. Hey everyone, what the hell is happening and why no trailer? This is really getting worrisome. That trailer did come out today, Kelly. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Kelly, thank you for being a member. We got Daddy Dave saying Big Daddy Jake. If you could have one if you could have one tomorrow but have to wait 8 years for the other, would you rather have Scream 7 or Terrifier 4? That's man. That's a hard. You know what? I'm going to throw this tonight.
Oh, come on now. You know what? Now, see, hold on, bro.
Knight can answer this question for you.
Now, let me just say something, because as far as I'm concerned, especially talking Terrifier, and a lot of people talk it, but I look to you for Terrifier stuff, man. So, like, you're definitely a Terrifier resource, no doubt. So I was just thinking in my head when you were reading that, I'm like, oh my God, Jake's audience is going to be like,
dude, I know. I love both of these franchises. Like they both have my heart. I don't like, right. I can't, it's like picking between two kids. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I mean, no hate to anyone, because I want to see Terrifier 4 as well, but I got to go with Scream 7. I mean, and the reason why is just because the curiosity is just killing me. But damn, 8 years would be a long time to wait for either of these, to be quite honest.
I know, like, I kind of don't even want to do what Davis is throwing out there. Like, I'm like, I don't want to wait I'll take the couple of months for 7 and then like maybe a year for 4. That doesn't sound as bad, you know? But I'm so excited for both of these. That's why I'm covering them so closely. We do know that Terrifier 4 is in pre-production. So really exciting to I think we're going to get some more updates, maybe even some production updates on that one very soon, which
I'm
is
just
exciting.
so excited to see where they're going to go with it, man. I mean, it's crazy to think about where this thing could go.
I think it's going to be an epic. I think we're going to hell with the Terrifier franchise, which is crazy.
I mean, you would think, right? I mean, that's like the most logical place. And I gotta admit, man, every time I think about Terrifier as a franchise and just, you know, Damien, I just think to myself, man, they came from the backyard and they were
Yeah.
like, hell yes, we're coming through. And it's just so awesome to think about it, you know, regardless of, you know, and I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but just the hustle, the ambition, the hustle, and the ability. Like they have some really great craftsmanship in the films, and you can see that, you know, as they go along, you know, they're expanding and growing and evolving. It's just so cool to see. We're literally witnessing, you know, this birth of a franchise, a birth of a new slasher icon, and it's just like we're right here in the middle of it, and it's great to see.
It really is, and it's nice to have like just a newcomer. You know, I feel like we've talked about Ghostface, we've talked about Freddy and Jason and Michael, but to have someone else to kind of chew into and just like say like, oh well, what's his whole deal? You know, what's Art's whole vibe? I love that. It's kind of a nice new personality to have on the table to bring up a new reference point that is big that everyone can kind of relate to and know who that is. It's I don't know, it's cool. I love when there's a new icon on the scene to kind of start drawing comparisons to. It's an interesting thing. I also, you got to respect the grassroots efforts too, man. Anytime like a small snowball makes into a big snowball like that, it's always really impressive. So just so much love. Paula, thank you for being a member. Hi, hello, yo, yo, yo. Eric is also hanging out with us, keeping the chat safe, modding it up. Thank you. Much love to everybody. Really appreciate everyone for hanging out with us today. So much. Big group hello. If you're hanging out, make yourself known. Maybe we'll throw something out there in the chat. If you have any thoughts about the Scream 7 marketing, or heck, whatever the hell other things you want to put out there regarding horror. I also want to throw this up on screen just real quick. We have Rapid River Robotics saying you made me look so freaking fast. Apologies for the little practical joke at the beginning of this, but we had to have a little bit of fun. Thank you for the 2.
we had to have some laughs because we're probably going to start ranting a bunch at some point.
Well, and you know, Knight, that's something I want to throw at you. So I was thinking about it today because I was like, why are we not getting a trailer? What is going on?
Yeah.
We did just get like a fuck ton of trailers this week. And I don't know if you're keeping up with all of them. We're getting a ton of stuff from like all different kinds of studios, and even something from Paramount technically has come out today, but just not online. You can go see it with the film Primate right now. It's a trailer for the film Passenger from Andre Overdahl, who of course directed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's a Paramount distributed release that will come out this May. And it's also made by the same production studio that put out this week's Primate, which again is in theaters right now. Do you think that could be why we didn't get any Scream 7 stuff this week, is because they're kind of starting to kick off the campaign for this other project that they got in the works? Maybe like next Thursday, we'll see the Scream 7 trailer. I don't know.
I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, when you put it like that, maybe they're figuring they have to, you know, kind of work with this one before, you know, because it's right, like you said, right with Primate coming out, and maybe they're thinking, well, Scream 7 can kind of stand on its own, so they can wait that extra week. That makes sense. I get, you know, from a business perspective, it's all about money, and money isn't just Scream 7. It's a lot of different projects. So maybe they're just basically kind of hedging their bets on the fact that 7 can kind of stand on its own, and they can make us wait for another 7 days. You know what I mean? It could be that. As a matter of fact, that makes the most sense of anything I've heard thus far today. Because your boy was looking at the clock. I had my day open. I was ready, and I was so excited. Especially for us to get a chance to talk tonight. And I was just like, oh man, I kept looking and looking. There's like nothing. It's like, damn it. So it is what it is.
I really believe it could be next week, and it does bum me out it's not today. I think why I'm thinking that is because even, this might feel like a trick, but I think that some people thought that the Scream 7 trailer would be attached to Primate. Like that was something we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, did more people show up to go see this crazy movie about a monkey killing people, potentially to get a Scream 7 trailer, and then they just didn't quite get that. You know what I mean? Is Paramount kind of banking on this being like their flagship series too? And like, they're like, oh, well, we're going to make money on Scream 7. So let's start promoting our other thing first. I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts going through my head. I think it is weird that we haven't gotten a whole lot from it, but I think in like a couple of weeks here, to be a little optimistic, I think we're going to see maybe another trailer, maybe those awesome character posters that we got with the last two flicks as well.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, I'm a sucker for the character posters. And look, I do videos on the character posters, so that's a lot for me, man. It's like I'm just so hyped. I gotta even talk about these character posters, and I know you do too, and Tyler and so many other content creators, especially us that are big fans of Scream. But yeah, I want to see stuff like that. I want to see like basically the parallel to things we saw for 6, like when we saw the subway station map. Let's see something that's a parallel of that for Scream 7. I can even imagine a couple of posters or images where they're teasing stuff. I mean, with all the teasing they've done of Stu in that first trailer and everything else in general so far, you would think, bro. I mean, again, I'm a crazy fan, okay? So I know this. I'm definitely not saying people take what I say for gold, but I'm just saying you would think with all the teasing they've been doing and all the hype, behind Matthew, they'd be putting out a poster that is teasing Stu's return, a television set that's got cracks in it and something on it, and then Scream 7, it's just whatever. It could be that simple. Of course, it's probably got to be more than that, but you get what I'm saying. Just teasing things. Hell, man, it's too bad they don't tease like multiple Ghostface killers, like more so than just Stu and Roman that we know about. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have some fun with this and really create a shit storm for us content creators. You know what I mean? But it would be fun, and it would be marketing, and it would get the conversations going. And I think they really, I hope you're right. I hope it really ramps up ASAP.
Well, and you just brought up a really good point that I didn't even think about. Like posters is something we were getting a ton for 6, of course. Like you were talking about with the subway and all that, but we have one Scream 7 poster so far, and it's just Ghostface in front of the burning down Mocker house. Where's our typical Scream poster that features all the different characters, or like what we got for 6, where it's a bunch of New York themed things. Like there's the one of Ghostface like above Times Square, and you can see like there's a Broadway thing and all these different New Yorkian kind of vibes to it. We haven't gotten any of that for Scream 7, and I am wondering like where is all of this? It's got to be coming in the next couple of weeks, though, right?
It has to. I mean, listen, can you imagine if we don't get shit?
That would be crazy.
Okay, let me ask you this: how many days are we talking? Like nothing. We're not getting trailers or character posters or anything. Nothing at all. Not even outlets like Entertainment Weekly and all that type of stuff. How many days do you think they can go from today on out with nothing? Do you give it a week, 10 days, 2 weeks?
Well, I think they've done like they're definitely playing the trailers and stuff, or the trailer, I should say, to be specific. We're done with that joke. But there's one trailer. They've been playing that in front of a ton of movies lately. Like they are getting the word out about it. But I think when you're able to throw more things out there, when you have guys like us being able to concoct weird little theories about, oh well, why is this poster coming out? Like, let's just throw something out there for a hypothetical. If they were to post like a new poster and it's 7 different ghost faces in a line, like on a poster, like I'm just throwing out an idea, wouldn't that kind of start to spark up some theories? Like, is there going to be more than 2 ghost faces? Is there going to be this? Is it just 7 ghost faces because it's entry number 7? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's if it's something like that, like some crazy artwork or something, would like just throw us into a loop. And hey, we're talking about it. That's the goal of marketing. That was what was brilliant to me about 5 and 6. Just something like that. It doesn't even have to be another trailer that could potentially, spoil the film, which I think that is the one pro that we're living in right now, is that we're not having Scream 7 just totally ruined for us and then knowing everything about it based on what the marketing team is giving us. But something like that, a poster with some artwork that maybe has something to do with the actual film itself, that could be a fun thing to break down. That keeps us talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it could, dude. I mean, and I'm not an artist, at all. I mean, I love posters and stuff like that. I can tell good posters from each other, but they could even do stuff where you even just Sydney alone, having a character poster with Sydney somewhere, and there's a reflection, and you can see Ghostface there or something. It would be so cool to see stuff like that, especially because regardless of how this turns out, it's pretty special in and of itself. I mean, fingers are crossed that it's going to at least be good. But I mean, you got Nev coming back. I'll be honest with you, man. I was so nervous once they kind of went through the whole pay dispute thing. I was really nervous we wouldn't see her again. You know what I mean? Like, she was standing on business, and I get it. She is the Scream Queen. And when she felt as though that she wasn't respected, I get it. It's just like Jamie Lee with Halloween. Like, pay her your money. She's the one that's driven this train for a long time. So I was actually worried we weren't going to have Nev come back. But the fact that she is back, why not celebrate that more? You know what I'm saying? Like, have some posters of Sidney Prescott. They don't necessarily have to be shots from the movie, but you know what I mean? Like, just getting that nostalgia going, getting that hype going, getting us to talk about the possibilities. I just think that would have been a cool move, even if we didn't get the trailer for like another week. If we had gotten, posters or something like that, I think that would have been, I don't know. That's the way I would have wanted it to go.
They got to hype it up like it's a big event. I mean, that's what made Scream 6, I think, especially so fun is, I remember getting into that and being like, oh, like they're putting so much work into the effort into the marketing, and there's always something going on. There was ghost faces showing up across the country getting, recorded on, like little security cameras. And like that went viral. Like that was such an interesting little, like, oh man, like this is a horror event. You don't want to miss this. I think you got to make these projects and sequels feel like that. So not only do people show up, but also like, I think just that general, can you create that hype around the film? Can you make it something exciting? Can you, drive this narrative in your own direction to make it something exciting for us horror fans to kind of, even if we hate it, it's still like a fun event. We're going to the theater on Friday night kind of thing. We got to turn it into that. And I think as long as they do that, they'll be successful. But I would just hate for this to be a Scream 4 situation where, let's say the movie ends up being fucking awesome and no one goes to see it. You know what I mean? That would suck.
And that affected the franchise. It affected the franchise. And it was just too bad because, 4 rocks.
You guys have heard us go on rants about 4. I love Scream 4 so much, and it bums me out that we never got, more from Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, especially from that little time that we had with them there. But it is what it is, as they say. Erica is throwing 2 out there saying mean, just mean, like the stream anyways. She's like, just like it if you want, I guess. These guys are a bunch of jerks.
You're the best, Erica.
So much love, Erica. Thank you for the 2. Greatly appreciate it. And we also got Peyton out here throwing 5. Thank you, Peyton. You're saying, I've never gotten more hyped and typed. Scream 7 when you talked about the trailer. Man, we're fooling everybody today. I feel so bad. Oh my God.
Too. Well, hey, man, we're just so emotional about this thing. What can we say? Let's all cry together.
We thought if we spoke it into existence, it would just happen. It would come out of thin air,
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not saying we're anything like 11, but we were hoping.
I believe.
There you go. Hey, do you believe though? I mean, not to go on a tangent, but do you believe?
I just made a whole video about this, about why I don't love that ending. But you know what? Are some fans happy with it? I hope so. I hope fans are just satisfied with that ending.
Right.
I liked most of it. Most of that finale I thought totally rocked.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love a good. Here's what I'll say without spoiling it, because it is still fresh, somewhat fresh, right? Spoilers are everywhere online. I just don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
What I will say is that I think if you're going to do an ambiguous ending, you can't lean too much into one of the possibilities. And for me, at least, I think Stranger Things leaned way too far into one of the, like 90% towards one of the possibilities opposed to the other one.
I agree.
To me, it feels like, yeah, of course it's that, because of what you showed us, how much effort was put into talking about this specific side of this, the two-part ambiguous ending that could be. And I guess I wish it was a little more subtle. That's my biggest criticism.
Like an Inception type of ending.
Precisely. Like, is he still in the dream? You know what I mean? You never get the full answer.
Yeah, Nolan knows what he's doing, but like you said, with the ending, and again, not doing any spoilers, but when you see a certain thing and then you're listening to what's going on, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, if that, yeah, wow, well, how could, and it's like, there you go.
So I think that's my That's my thing about it. I don't, again, I know there's some people who are like, dude, I still have 3 more episodes of the show. I haven't seen it. And I feel so bad for you, because there are spoilers everywhere you can, like if you open up your phone, you're going to get blasted with spoilers for it, sadly. But, but watch it, form your own opinions, and we'll talk about it at some point.
Yep.
Peyton, thank you for the 5. Sorry for fooling you, but it was kind of funny. Peyton's also throwing $20 out there. Thank you again for your support, my friend. You're saying, I know everybody wanted a trailer, but honestly, I don't know if I want a second trailer. I do want to see more shots of Ghostface and all the other character posters. They might want to like hide some things and not do 5 and 6. Well, Knight, that's a really good point. Do you think that 5 and 6 did too much with its marketing? Do you think they spoiled too much?
Well, we definitely know that 5 spoiled a lot with the trailer. Like, that was just, oh God, I'm still pissed about that, man. Like anytime I watch the movie, anytime, because every once in a while I'll think back to our old conversations and stuff. And I was trying to stand on business. I was like, there's no way that this is going to happen. It's literally right in front of our faces in the trailer. They couldn't do that and show that with a major character. Yeah, they did it. I don't think I had an issue with the marketing in general for 5 or 6, other than 5's trailer. I think 6's trailers were fun. I think they obviously did a better job than 5 as far as not giving away too much, but still giving us the hype. I personally would love to see 7 kind of follow the quantity of marketing that the other 2 films have done, and so far they're way behind, bro. It's like the 4th quarter, and they're way behind in the score.
And I think you make a really good point about Scream 6. It was more stuff, and it was less spoilery, I feel. Like it definitely didn't give enough, like too much away, I should say. Well, until we got to the film itself, which is a whole different conversation. But in terms of the marketing campaign, I think they did a great job with 6. It was enough to build a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, but not show you too much of the film. Especially that first teaser trailer, which it was literally just the subway scene. That's all it was. It was just teasing our characters are on the subway. Danny's there. And at the time, we didn't know what Danny's whole situation was. We were kind of, if you don't remember, I don't know if any of y'all remember, but we were suspicious of Danny. We thought he was going to be our Ghostface. He said, why is he with our characters on the bus? Where's Mindy? What's going on? Why is she not there with everybody? There's so many questions from that first teaser, just showing us the subway, getting cornered by Ghostface. That was great. That's what I want from more Scream 7 marketing. Like just tease a single sequence. Oh, sorry. Another great example, Final Destination Bloodlines. Their first teaser trailer was just Eric in the tattoo parlor.
Yeah. The the trailer that proved that you can make a believer out of a non-believer. Because when I saw that trailer, I was like, this is friggin' awesome. But peace out, buddy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I thought that was great. It was like they were trolling us. You know what I mean? That movie's just so amazing. It really is.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of my favorites from last year, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I did love that basically that whole scene just served as one big marketing stunt.
Yep.
That's really the only point of that scene being in the movie. But you know what? I don't care because it didn't spoil a death technically.
Right.
We were all thinking, like you were saying, we were all thinking, we're like, oh well, that dude's that's a death right there. That's spoiled. But like at least we didn't see anything else. That was everybody was saying that about the movie, and then
Yep.
well, that didn't end up being true, which was cool. So. But yeah, I think when it comes to 5 and 6, if they can market the movie similar to that, without showing the hair of the killer being stabbed,
Right.
I'll be happy personally.
I'm telling you, man, unbelievable. It's like, how could they? I'm still so curious about how they thought that was a good idea, because they spoiled three things, Amber, Richie, and of course Dewey. And it's like, come on, guys, really?
Well, and I can't remember who, but someone called it that there's a scene in that Scream 5 trailer as well where Amber's walking out the door and she's like got her hand like on her, thing here and she's like reaching out, like screaming. And someone was like, she's a ghost face. Like I remember someone saying that beforehand. They're like, why is she shot and yelling out to people? Like, no, that wouldn't have happened unless she was like one of the killers. Because typically the killers don't use guns to shoot like survivors. They either put them down immediately or the killers are, just disposed of pretty
Right.
quickly. There's the comeback scare, whatever. But point being, you don't get a scene like that typically with survivors running away. So someone I can't remember who it was, but someone else had pointed out. They're like, "Well, that's suspicious. That's an interesting shot right there." And yeah.
And it's too bad because I mean, again, we're living in a time where we're dissecting so many things, and it's a gift and a curse for this franchise. It truly is. An advantage and a disadvantage. So to me, it's like when you craft these trailers, you have to be careful. You can't have a scene where, Jack Quaid is looking so sus, because now I'm thinking about him being sus. Now, granted, I might have already been thinking about that a little bit, but the trailer is like confirming it for me. You know what I mean? You've got to pick the shots that you're using for these characters because we're already hot on the trail, so to speak, and so it just amazes me how, again, 5 just seemed like it was so careless in the way that the trailer was crafted. It really was like, shit, man. I mean, you don't see that from like Knives Out, right? Or, Murder on the Orient Express. I mean, it's like they didn't give away the shit. It's come on, this is Scream. We've been around for 30 years. What are you doing?
And there's guys like us that are going to of course we're going to dissect it. Of course we're going to break down every little shot and weird line delivery. You know what I mean? Like anything that could remotely be like, oh, well, could that person be the killer? You got to find ways that, the marketing team's got to find ways to be able to, kind of trick us into thinking, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. You know what I mean? If we can constantly be going back and forth between a handful of things, that's like the best case scenario. Make everybody look a little suspicious with the marketing. When we get to the film, hopefully it does its job. But, with the marketing, can we kind of start that conversation of like who's the fans are going to be thinking about it no matter what.
Right.
If you're thinking about it beforehand, if you're thinking, well, we're going to make them think it's this character when really it's this guy. That's the best case scenario.
Yep. I agree. Absolutely.
Erica is saying, rub a conformity gate in my face some more, won't ya? Do you believe in that, Night?
No.
It didn't happen on Wednesday. I'm still seeing some people saying it could still happen. I don't know. Don't know if there's any truth to that, sadly.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking to myself, man, wouldn't that be something? Just for what it is, And I'm not one of those folks that thought that the season was a bust or anything like that. Like I had fun with it, And listen, when you have a show or a long-standing franchise, that's been around that long, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, in some shows, just like some franchises or sequels, they can nail it, and some maybe not so much, but as long as it's not, as you guys always say, dog water, I'm okay with it because I've been, speaking specifically about Stranger Things, I've enjoyed so much of it for so long. So I thought that the season, it was good enough for me. I agree with you about the ending, though. I think they should have just, go one way or the other. But overall, I'm fine, but online, bro, it's like World War III. I mean, people are getting their feelings hurt. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
I'm with you. I really didn't think it was like that bad. Like there's things
Yeah.
about it that I didn't like. But it's overall I think it's a mixed bag for me. Like I was like there's some things I strongly like really like some big high points of that final season, and then just some other things that I was just like I wish they handled that better, you know?
Right.
Some plot holes here and there which are like you can look past them if you want kind of thing. It's not the big it's not the end of the world, you know?
Yep.
I like honestly Game of Thrones season 8 was like that's the standard for bad final season, and it was definitely
Yeah.
above that. It was like 100% I would put this final season above
Hell
that.
yeah. I totally agree. Game of Thrones, man. And bro, I rode with Game of Thrones hard, man. Like when it would come on, it was like it was an event. Nothing got in the way of me watching it. And then you get to that season, and like we're rushing through that thing faster than Carl Lewis running from a burning building. And I'm just like, what are we doing? And Daenerys is like nuts. Is like, what? What is going? It was just crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I can still watch the season. I can still watch it and pull the bits that I enjoy out of it. But I was really just I was befuddled how they weren't able to come close to what they were able to do in previous seasons as far as the quality and the scope of the story. It was just so rushed, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. This was definitely better than the Game of Thrones finale, no doubt.
Without a doubt. I have such a weird relationship with Game of Thrones because I remember everybody was talking about it before season 8 came out. I had never seen it. And 3 months before, I binged the whole show, like 7 seasons. And I was so into it for that little time period. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm going through and I'm just seeing all the crazy shit that happens. And it's, in my humble opinion, seasons, I remember seasons 6 and 7 at the time where like everyone was like, I'm not doing that for the joke. Someone's going to say it in the chat. I'm not doing that for the joke. Season 6 and 7 of this show were heavily criticized online. People were like, oh man, 6 and 7, it fell off. I disagree. Game of Thrones season 6 and 7 are still very, very good in my opinion. And there's, especially at the end of season 7, there's a really big high point that everyone forgets about. I feel that that last episode of season 7, whew, chef's kiss, baby. It fell off after that, but love that. We get to season 8, and I had just spent, all of my free time, dude, from the last 3 months, just binging this show. We get to this season, and then episode 3, of course, happens, and in my opinion, a bit of a disaster. I don't know what happened there, but man, I'll never watch it again. But that little time period, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
Yeah, it was a fun ride, bro. And just the scope and the story and the characters. I mean, that was such a cool show to like get invested in so many different types of characters. And oh my God, just thinking about it, I just wish I could go back and relive those first 7 seasons.
Me too. Me too, man.
It's funny too, in the chat. They're talking about we're doing more promoting for Scream 7 than Paramount. And then Fort Misery says, meanwhile, we got 4 Avengers Doomsday spots. Right.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Do you see the X-Men one?
I haven't really, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't kept up with it at all. I've heard people talking about it. That's about it.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you're a fan of them or whatever, one shot in it was like, oh my God, finally, after whatever it's been, 25 years, that's it. That's what I want to see. I was like, it was cool,
I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for it. Robert's coming back, which is hype. But yeah, I just I think I'm weirdly like I'm just I don't know. Marvel, it's hard for me to get really hyped up for these days, I guess. Like not to be gross, but I blew my load with Endgame and Infinity War, and now I'm just like, I don't know, Marvel. We'll see though.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. My brother's the same way. I was like, bro, did you see the trailer? He's like, and I'm like, what? But they kind of have done it to themselves in a way, you know what I mean? But again, this could come out and kind of right the ship for a lot of people,
And there's definitely been some good Marvel movies in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like a few have kind of
Yeah.
surprised me. The Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts were especially
Yep.
big highlights for me, at least.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that upward trend continues for them. I would love to see Marvel like kind of come back and have some good projects for sure. Hollywood guys throwing 5 out there saying, "Hey gentlemen, what's going on? I still don't see a trailer and any marketing. I just can't take someone's word that a movie is good." I will say this, not to be too harsh on Scream, because they have put out some cool stuff, some little social media posts, some holiday related little teasers, and I don't, are those even teasers? I don't know. It's little skits.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a YouTube short.
Yeah. We got a new shot of Ghostface today, which is on the thumbnail of the stream that you're currently watching. So we did get that. Things are coming. I think we just kind of came from a drought, like a little bit of a lull, which was weird. And I think now starting next week, it's going to be full force into this thing. So keep your head up, Hollywood guy. I think next week's going to be a little more optimistic.
Yeah. Yep.
But thank you for the 5. Thank you. Gina is also with us, modding as well. Thank you. Thanks for being a channel member too. This is a good point. I almost forgot about this. Germany got a teaser for Scream 7, but it's roughly the same as the OG trailer. You're exactly right. There is no new footage in it, but it is a different kind of trailer with German subtitles and all that fun stuff.
There you go.
So, Knight, do you think that could be indication that we're going to get some more stuff, like as more of a general trailer?
I mean, I would have thought so. I mean, like I said, well, let me ask you this too. I know you just asked me that, but let me ask you this. Do we think it could happen on a day other than Thursday? I know we talked a little bit about that on the collective, but and I'm not trying to say it's going to happen, but I'm just saying, if they dropped it tomorrow or Monday or Wednesday of next week, do you think that that's a possibility? So we shouldn't even just be thinking strictly Thursday. I know Paramount likes Thursdays, but what do you think?
I don't. Faith said that the other night. I don't know. Is that 100% true that they only drop stuff on Thursdays? I feel like I've reported on Paramount stuff all throughout, all different days. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I cover a lot of trailers, so I don't. I don't know. I feel like we could get it whenever, though. I really feel like it could be any day. I would think it would be if it was next Thursday, though. It would be kind of interesting. We have 28 years later, The Bone Temple coming out in theaters, so it might play before that. That's a big horror release, and here's kind of the next really big studio horror release. I mean, outside of Strangers Chapter 3, but how many people are showing up to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, don't you want to see a boar some more?
I want to see her. She's going to fight not one boar, guys, 2 of them. It's going to be awesome. Please show up.
And we talked about it on Killzone, but my disappointment level in The Strangers is just so high because I just think that there could have been some really cool choices that they could have made that they didn't. And I love Madeline Petch. It's I thought she was great. She just didn't have a lot to really show, the ability. And it's just so messed up because it's such a scary story. I mean, the strangers could be anyone, and there's no reason. It's just happening. And we were talking about the possibility for the kills and all this and that. And it's bro, it's just so disappointing. Even just thinking about it, I'm just shaking my head, subconsciously just making me shake my head.
What if this third movie, though, is a masterpiece? Wouldn't that be so funny?
Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it? Do you think, if you had to give a percentage chance that 3 was, I don't want to say is amazing, but let's just say above, let's say it's a shade above good. What's the percentage chance you would give 3 to be a shade above good?
I don't know. I have no faith in it, honestly, but I think there's a chance. I think there is a chance that it's better than the last 2. That's what I'll say. I think there's
I hope so.
For me, at least, the first one is a 0 out of 10. This next one, maybe 2, I'll give a 1 out of 10 just because it's not completely ripping off what came before it. Yeah. This could be a 3 out of 10. I think there's faith for. I don't know how much faith you have in a 3 out of 10 film, but I think that this could at least be that. That's triple what the last movie was.
Wow, there you go.
It's something.
It is something. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be better. I just don't know. And I'm so surprised because I think Rennie Harlan is a very talented director. He's done some great stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
mean,
100%.
so it's like I don't understand why and this is such a simple story in a way, but it's got a lot of power that you can, really dive into. And that's what really gets me. This isn't like Scream where you're juggling a bunch of things to make it work. This is just
Right.
The Strangers. And it's like I just can't believe with a very good director that they couldn't do better than what they've done so far. It's just crazy.
I know, man. Like it's like The Strangers is. I'm not saying it's an easy film franchise to continue, but like I think it's like you said, it's less things to juggle. Like there's like six. I'm not gonna say that. There's like 8 or 9 things that you have to juggle to make Scream work. You know what I mean? Like realistically,
Yeah.
we're gonna move past that. But yeah, there's a lot of things you have to do in order to make a Scream film work. There's meta commentary. It's still a slasher at the end of the day. It's got to be a little scary. You have comfort characters. That's a hard thing to blend with like a slasher film. Again, making a Scream movie is no easy task. I don't want to say making a Strangers movie is easy because clearly it's not, and we've learned that from the last 2 flicks. But I think that it is simple in the sense that it should just be these killers who have no motive per se, and they're just going after different kinds of people. I think the tough part is writing a relatable protagonist. You know what I mean? Like I think Pray at Night does that really well. Talking about a Strangers sequel that actually works for me.
Yes.
Here's this family that's just going to, visit some other family and they find them dead by the stranger's hand. And that works so well. And I also just think casting Christina Hendricks in that movie is another reason why I care for the characters.
I wish she was in it more.
I wish she was in it more. That's my only complaint.
She's got to do more movies like that, bro. She is really talented, man. Like, I've seen her in a lot of different stuff, different types of, film or TV, and she is really talented. It always gets me when you have different actors or actresses, and you're always thinking, man, I wish they did more of whatever it may be, and they may or may not. But she was good in it. She was believable, and she was a pretty fierce mom. But I wish she was in it more.
I agree. And it just hurt. It hurt when we got that kill. And again, if you can make me feel for your characters in a Strangers movie and just, you don't have to explain why they say, is Tamara home? You don't have to explain that.
Yeah. I don't
That's not what I need
about that.
Right. It's just there to be creepy. I need good characters. That's literally it. Good characters. Give me a good setting. Give me a fun little plot and some crazy kills. Talking Star Wars is also here throwing 5 out there saying, what if the motive is family members of previous family? Like what? Like a sibling to Derek going after Sid and Tatum. Okay, so like to previous characters who are now dead. Knight, I'll throw that to you. Derek's sister being the killer here. What are your thoughts?
Derek's sister.
I just wanted you to do that. Yeah,
you did. I'm nowhere near as good as Timothy Oliphant, though. No, I don't want to see that. I mean, I suppose, like we always say, and I know it's kind of cheesy and lame, but execution is always everything. But I just feel like we've got to broaden as much as we can, and just to be like, oh well, I'm blaming you because you weren't able to save Derek and this. I just don't, I'm just not with it. What about you? I mean, I'm assuming. Well, I don't want to answer for you. What do you think of that?
Well, I think someone like Derek, it's been 30 years since he died. Why now? You know what I mean? Like, I think something that's so important to Scream, another thing, again, there's a balancing act, juggling act, I should say. We got to do all different kinds of things with this franchise, especially with new continuations. Something that Scream has to do is be modern in a way. And especially coming down to, your Ghostface. Especially coming back to like Scream 3 and Scream 4 being some prime examples here. We have John Milton in 3, for instance, who is kind of like your Harvey Weinstein stand-in, and he's vilified in the film for being a piece of shit. And then we have Jill, let's say, in Scream 4, who represents a lot of things, but also this need for fame, doing whatever it takes to get that. And that kind of represents that thing at the time where a lot of young people were trying to get huge on like Instagram and YouTube,
Yeah.
and like just doing anything for likes, and in this case, murder. So like it's always something that has to do with what is going on right now in the space. A big theory that's been going around with Scream 7 is that part of the motive is going to be vilifying like AI technology, which is obviously something that's very frowned upon in the movie industry. You know, it's
Yep.
literally taking jobs away from people right now. So of course they're going to vilify that in Scream. That to me is checking off that box, being like perfect. That is something that is in the zeitgeist right now. We're all thinking about it. We're all talking about it. No matter what side of the coin you fall on. So that just makes so much sense for that to be part of Ghostface's MO this time around.
Yep. Agreed.
So I think that's to me is who the killers have to be. That's how you shape your killer. Find like a modern motive and then go from there. But talking Star Wars, thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate it. I'm so sorry I 6-7'd myself again. Paul, I appreciate the. Oh my God, Erica's gonna start counting them. We got to have a whole compilation video of no, please don't make that. I'm just kidding. Erica, Paul, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate your supports. We also have Rapid River Robotics. What's going on June 7th of 2024? What happened that day? I'm curious. I'm scared to ask a little bit, in fact. Thank you for the 5. Would you rather season 2 of Welcome to Derry now or a secret 9th episode of Stranger Things?
Oh man. Jeez.
That's an easy answer for me, but Knight, I'll throw that to you first.
Well, I'm gonna go with Welcome to Derry. Because listen, talk about out of nowhere. When I first heard that they were even doing it, I mean, yeah, there was some curiosity and a little bit of excitement because I'm a fan of it and Pennywise as a character and so forth. But I was just thinking, I just don't know. And that show kicked so much ass. Oh my God. They were doing stuff that I didn't even know that I wanted and things that I would not have thought would work. And it was just fantastic. It absolutely was fantastic. Love that show. Love everything about the show online, and I don't always get a chance to do a lot of this, but I've followed, a lot of the cast, after, obviously the finale and stuff. And they're just awesome. They really are. And I'm just so happy that now with it as an IP or whatever, there's so many possibilities. Like after the movies, I was just like, oh, okay, there we go. We're going to have to wait another 20, 30 years before it's kind of redone. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Everything's on the table now because of this show, and it works. To me, it works. Pennywise is like, I'm not saying he wasn't relevant before, but I'm just saying this show is just like, yeah, let's go. Pennywise, he's going to be doing his thing for as long as he wants to be doing his thing. Let's go. So,
well, those movies were such a great Andy Muschietti's version of the tale, right? It's not like a perfect adaptation by any means, but it is a great telling of that story. And for me, it was done. It was like, okay, that was great. Nice little duology. Let's move on. But this show has really it's made me a believer, not to make that joke again, but it really has made me be like, oh my God, there is more to do with this character, this story. Yeah. And we set up something, especially at the end of Welcome to Derry, that I've seen a lot of people say they don't like. And I'm like, I disagree. Really? Dude, what we set up at the end of this show is so interesting to me because Pennywise is a kind of character that could understand that kind. I don't know. That to me is like, yes, 100% that could work with this character. And now this prequel story has opened that up to like a future. And it's like, whoa, I love it. I don't know. It's so interesting to me. And we haven't even really done anything with it yet. So it's like, I can't really criticize it. That's a preview of what's to come, clearly. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want, and the other thing with that, and I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil this for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. This one I can talk little spoilers for. It's been out for a little while. But what I'll say is that we've already kind of covered a lot of what season 2 being another prequel would have already kind of covered. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've already kind of seen a lot of where these characters ultimately end up in season 1, which is technically your final destination. Not making a joke here, but final destination of where the show would go if we're doing prequel after prequel for each season. So I feel like you'd have to add some sort of future story simultaneously. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it might just get kind of dull. loving the direction of this. I can't wait for more Welcome to Derry. So season 2 of Welcome to Derry, my choice for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, they literally, like I said before, for me, I remember when we were watching the finale, I was here with my family and I looked right over to Corey and I was like, this is genius. Like Pennywise is so fucking relevant now. It's like it's all in on the table, and just the way that they did it and kind of weaved some of those through lines for the Stephen King mythology, his universe of stories. And I was just like, this was just so freaking good. And I'm on board. I'm on board. I'm like I as a matter of fact, I'm planning to rewatch season 1 pretty soon
Oh yeah.
because I'm just like I wanted to give it a little time and I'm like, man, we just got to watch it again because it was such a fun roller coaster too. It really was. I mean, they did a hell of a job.
I rewatched the first 2 movies after the show because I was just like, I have to revisit those and see what they, kind of added into the series from there. There's so much from It Chapter 2, especially in the show, which I don't know, just loved that about making those connections. We're also hearing that Finn Wolfhard is involved with some sort of It thing. Yep. So like clearly they are doing some sort of, sequel thing. We're revisiting that.
Dude, like the possibilities are crazy. Let me ask you one thing too, and I'm staying away from spoilers, but at the end, the finale, when the certain person turned their head and looked at the camera, did you have any, I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your vibe? Because my jaw dropped. I'm like,
it was really exciting. We talk about how much we love these Scream characters and we love seeing them back on the big screen. It's always exciting. I kind of felt that way about this character. I was like, I'm so excited to be seeing this person on the big screen again. Small screen, I guess, right? But it's still exciting nonetheless. It was like, man, I love these characters. I really do. I think all the kids in It Chapter 1 were just fantastic. It's got a great cast.
Yeah.
And their adult counterparts too. Really, It Chapter 2 gets a lot of shit, and I think that's sad because it's not a perfect movie by any means, but I still really love it. Love the cast. Everybody, I don't know, across the board, everybody I think is great in those movies, and
I agree.
If we can get more of that somehow and it feels organic with this show, I'm here for it, man. I'm very open-minded to building on top of those stories, maybe more things that happen that we just didn't see. I don't know, that's a possibility for me. I could get into that.
Yep, hell yeah, man. And the fact that we're getting all this hype from a TV show, it's like it just shows that type of thing can happen, TV or streaming, however you want to, word it. It can really breathe new life into, these theatrical projects. And it's just cool to see. It really is.
It's really cool to see Pennywise just be like a big icon again. Not that he wasn't, you know what I mean? I mean,
right.
I think after those movies, he's Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is like immortalized. There's some of the highest grossing horror flicks of all time on top of that. Not that money has anything to do with it, but come on now. I'm just glad that Pennywise is back. And we even kind of got like a new design for him, which that's something my buddy Darjan pointed this out to me. They're like, he's like, I don't know if it's a new design, him covered in blood, but it feels different. Like there's something scarier about that look for Pennywise that I love.
Yeah. It's great to see that and that when it works, just like Black Phone 2, like the different looks of the grabber. I was just like, I'm here for that. You guys, look, we can say what we want, but these movies nowadays, they have learned from the mistakes of, Elm Street, when Robert was like, look, guys, I don't want to sit in the chair for 8 hours for this makeup. Just put something rubber on my face and let's call it good. It's like, yes, Robert, you're still cool, but the makeup does not look good. They're realizing that we've got to pay attention to the look of the villain because the villain is what's immortalized. In images and posters at conventions, merchandise and so forth. So it's great to see Pennywise looking great in the altered versions, just like the grabber, just like art, and I just think that horror is operating at a higher level now because they have to, they understand we're looking at everything. We're looking at Michael's mask and we're going to call him out when it doesn't look right.
Yep, dude. Oh, don't get me started. I'll go on a rant about that freaking movie. But Rapid River Robotics, dude, thank you for the 5. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited for more Welcome to Derry. Bring it on. Let's go. Lloyd is throwing 2 out there as well. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you for the support. Greatly appreciate you for watching, hanging out with us, talking a little Scream, little Pennywise, all kinds of things, horror, baby. We also got Kay out there, got a sick-ass Ghostface profile picture. We're loving that. Thank you for the 5, saying, hey guys, hope all is well. I told Critical Overlord this, but there is a world premiere of Scream 7 in Paris on February 24th. Night and I, we're going. We got tickets.
We're there.
I would kill. That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah. But probably not, sadly. I would love to. Let's Night. Let's go over there. Let's do that, and let's go into the Paris catacombs the same day. Let's screen the movie in the Paris catacombs. That would be awesome.
Man, that would be so cool. Could you imagine like anyone getting the opportunity to do that as a content creator? Oh my God, that's legendary status right there.
Yeah, being able to go over there and just to see the movie early in general. So Critical Overlord, speaking of which, who's hanging out with us tonight. What's up, my dude? Welcome in.
What's up, man?
He messaged me and said that they are doing an early screening for this, which is interesting because they never do early screenings for Scream movies. So if I can see this one early, I will literally I'll cry. That would be amazing if I could do an early review of this. Oh my God.
Right. It's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know. Listen, one thing we can say is this movie right now, anyways, is moving forward in a little bit of a different way than 5 and 6. So, I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
To me, it's like usually I feel like they don't do that just because they they don't want the reveals out, right? I mean, a dumbass like me could go and accidentally post something that they shouldn't be posting. Yeah. So that's why, I also have I got an in with some of the people that do the early screenings. And like anytime you ask about like a murder mystery movie in general, they almost never do them. But it was interesting last year, they did an early screening for Hard Eyes, a movie I never thought we'd get an early anything for. Because again, that's a movie that's very reliant on the murder mystery, slasher, same vibes as Scream, basically. So just another big surprise there. But I don't know, maybe Spyglass is just doing that now.
You weren't big on Hard Eyes, right?
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I was kind of middle of the road with it.
Was there a particular, I know we've talked about it before, but I can't remember exactly if there was a particular thing about it that turned you off on it.
I loved the cast across the board. Just excellent cast for a movie. Mason Gooding really being able to shine maybe even a lot more than in the Scream films, which was great. Olivia Holt as well. Awesome lead.
Oh, yeah. She was great, man.
Oh, yeah. I had the killers figured out first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I never like the movie didn't do any effort to really make me think it was somebody else. Like it was like, oh, that was a weird line from that person. Oh, that one person is still doing weird shit, and it's that person. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. I did love the look of the killer though, and there was definitely some cool kills and attack scenes, chase scenes, and I was thinking, man, they got a lot of the elements, but it didn't come together like I would have wanted, like a Scream film, you know what I mean? And again, that's a credit to Scream, because when you're juggling all these different things, it's so hard to make it all work, you know what I mean? But
yeah. And I think whenever you have a movie like Hard Eyes that is trying to get into the same similar thing as Scream, it's tough to get all that right. And just it's tough to make all that work. And a slasher murder mystery especially is not an easy movie to make happen and to do that. I think there's a lot of murder mysteries, and Hard Eyes I kind of feel falls into this, where I think if it wasn't a murder mystery and you just had that Scream flavor to it, you still would have a really good movie on your hands, maybe a better one even. Yeah, that might be a hot take, but I think if that didn't have a big twist, it was just like, yeah, it's just some crazy killer and maybe we just know who it is the whole time, I think it would have been a better movie for it, actually.
I agree with you.
But yeah, a lot of these movies that try to not copy Scream, but try to do something similar, bring in the same crowd, whatever. Guys, just throwing this out there. You don't have to make it a murder mystery if you don't have a good idea. Just
right. I'm
just saying. I'm just, if you just want to have a killer and make it have a fun, campy Scream tone to it, you can just do that. It's okay. But Kate, thank you so much for the 5. Really appreciate it a ton. But yeah, so you know, as well as Scream 7, we have some marketing for this, which is exciting. We have so many damn movies coming out in the next 2 months. To wrap this up, Knight, is there anything that you're excited for that we already do have marketing for?
I mean, I'm definitely excited to see Primate.
Yeah.
I just feel as though that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm I love animal horror. Anytime it's so funny when Fate was like, monkeys fucking shit up, fucking people up, or whatever, however he worded it. It was just so, it was so Tyler. But it's true. I do really love animal horror. Obviously, I know you're a big fan of alligator, things like Jaws and Grizzly, and just those are just some of my favorite types of movies. And we don't get enough of them, and I can understand why. But I'm thinking Primate is definitely a big one for me. 28, of course, to see how they follow up the ending of the last film. Like go Power Rangers is all I gotta say. But those are the big ones for me right now, other than obviously Scream 7.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm hyped up for Primate. I just spoke with someone today who has seen Bone Temple, and they said they liked it even better than 28 Years Later, which is
Nice.
so exciting. So I cannot wait to see that one. But another movie I'm very excited for, which is not even in production yet, but Final Destination 7 is on the way. I cannot wait for this one. Kay's kind of get into that with her with the new super chat here. Thank you for the 5. Would you guys be into a Final Destination show? That's interesting. Knight, what are your thoughts? Like turning that into a TV show, how could you do that?
Well, I mean, I've already watched the X-Files, so I guess if you know, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I mean, I was just saying Welcome to Derry blew my socks off, and I didn't think it could work. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't watch it, and I'm not saying it couldn't be good. It's just, to me, I just think that it's harder, if you're talking about a show, maybe if it's a limited thing, a handful of episodes in a season, maybe. But I'm just such a big fan of the theatrical for this franchise. It just feels like Final Destination is one of those franchises. To me, it's like when you go out to eat and the meal is going to be so tasty. You know what I mean? Like whatever you order, you know what I'm saying? And you just go there and you just enjoy that meal like it's your freaking last meal. And that's what it's like for me with Final Destination, from the very first one. They've just been so enjoyable, and, they do enough to differentiate themselves from each other. And this last one, I was like, man, this movie is coming out 25, 24 years after the first one. What is going on? This is crazy. And to me, I've always said this. I think Final Destination really helped carry horror in the 2000s. To me, Final Destination and Saw. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about Saw. It feels like people are kind of ashamed to admit that they're Saw fans. I don't know about how it is for you, but when I'm streaming, it's like
no.
When I'm talking about Saw, it's almost like people like, what Saw? It's like, bro, that franchise and those movies made a lot of money, but anyways, but I think Saw and Final Destination really helped carry horror through the 2000s, and they're just some great fun movies. They really are.
I'm obsessed with Saw. I don't care. It's one of the most. It is, to me. It's one of the most interesting franchises we have. Like I could, if I quit everything I was doing right now and I just made a Saw channel, I could happily do that. There is enough to talk about with Saw. I love it. It is such a, and it's not just the traps. That's what, like, when you really dive into the franchise, there is such an insane story happening across most of those movies, and then there's some like kind of spin-off things. But man, I think they're fascinating. Final Destination, though, like you were saying, and I love this. It's like it's that meal that you're just like, it's a comfort meal. It's going to be good, and it's kind of a similar thing every single time, but like it always delivers. Even the Final Destination, which is like often considered like the worst one, I can still make it through that movie. I've still seen it 6-8 times,
Same thing here, man. I've seen it a bunch of times too, and for me it's definitely at the bottom. But again, that's the strength of these movies to me. I still have fun with that fourth film. they're just great, man. I'm almost, and I don't want to sound negative because I usually am not like this. I'm almost just so nervous because I'm like, bro, we've had 6 good films. I mean, look, I've never been to Vegas, but I'm just saying, at some point, I mean, will we crap out? I mean, because these are just great movies, and I don't want to see a bad one. But anyways, yeah.
Well, dude, we have a killer new director that's tackling the next entry. And like this is a recipe for success, in my opinion. We had fresh blood for Bloodlines, which obviously resulted in a huge hit. We once again are just the same formula for part 7. I would have loved to see what was it, Adam Stein and Zach Lipovsky come back for another one. They killed it. They earned it after Bloodlines. But I think approaching it in a similar way to something like the Evil Dead franchise, for instance. Evil Dead has a new director each time.
Yep.
Just absolutely and it's been great. I mean, each new movie, in my opinion, since the Sam Raimi trilogy has been fantastic. We're moving into Burn next year, which is going to be hype as fuck. I think Final Destination 7 it's a recipe for success. This is going to be another great movie, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
Apologies. I have a very hungry fiance who wants some food, so I have to. We're gonna get through this last super chat, and then we're gonna get off here. Paul, if you don't mind, just real quick, I do have something that I want to throw to the chat to humor my fiance, a question she has regarding movies. And you know what, Guys, depending on how you answer tonight, I might be sleeping on the couch. So just not to put any pressure on you, but that is a factor in all of this. So I'm going to ask you all a question regarding movies and franchises. And Knight, I'll throw this to you as well. Is a prequel also a sequel, or is it just its own thing?
So I'm going to answer this again.
I'm sorry I'm asking you this twice. We were talking about this backstage, but I have to ask again. Because I'm curious.
All right, so this was my answer, and I'm trying to put on a bulletproof vest. Okay, in my of sequel. I can hear her.
She's angry. She's not happy.
I'm so sorry, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, when I think of prequel, I'm thinking of the story that took place beforehand, and a sequel continues the story. So that's all I'm saying. I'm a friend.
Okay, that's a great answer in my opinion. I'm going to ask I'm going to put out a poll, guys.
Oh, wow.
Is a prequel? I can't type and talk at the same time because I'm not good at
dodge
this.
bullets at the same time.
Yeah, that's way too much to ask. I am not Neo from the Matrix. Is a prequel a sequel or its own thing? Is what we're gonna say. Okay, so I'm gonna make the answers own thing or just sequel. And we're gonna throw that out there. Type of sequel?
It's a type of sequel.
I want to get the terminology right here. Type of Knight, I'm sorry you're in the middle of this now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, the poll has started. We will see what everyone has to say. Erica is saying a prequel is a sequel, but of the before stuff. See, That's my point, though. It's not a sequel then. It's something that
she really
before.
Thought about that answer before typing it.
She did. You know what? Erica's got a good point there. But
yeah.
And of course, Madison, you are always right. So I can't, no matter what happens, you will just end up being right. But we will see what ends up coming from that poll. Paul, real quick, want to get to this. Thank you for the 5, my friends. I think the end of Final Destination 6 was her premonition of the introduction to the events. Moving into Final Destination 7, there are many clues suggesting this, so that train accident never actually happened. That was just a premonition before it was going to happen. Knight, do you have a theory on this, just out of curiosity?
And I've heard a lot of people talking about this and so forth. And I got to admit, at the end, I was thinking to myself, this could be a really good one, for the next film. Because when I saw it, I knew right off the bat it was going to make cake, and it made a lot of cash, bro. It really did. I could be down with it. But I don't necessarily think it's definitive that that's going to be, the premonition for the next movie. It'd be cute, and I'm cool with it. But I mean, we've seen this type of thing in Final Destination movies before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could be something cool to start something new like that, but I'm not banking on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it because I did like these characters in Final Destination 6. But I think what was, like, to me, the icing on the cake that made that movie was they ended it with everybody dying. And that's how Final Destination movies kind of need to end. Everybody dies. You can't subvert that. You can't escape it forever. And I think that's kind of part of it's almost kind of like part of the message, I feel, for Final Destination. You can't have survivors. That's kind of almost why I want to see Kimberly Corman and Thomas Burke come back, so that, they can get into the loop. To me, it's like it's full circle, baby. It's Final Destination. Everyone's gonna die in this franchise at some point. It's kind of an honor. I feel like if I was cast in Final Destination, I didn't die, that would suck. What? Like, no, I want to be. If I'm not covered in blood on my last shoot, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? What about me? I love that. I love it.
No, I feel it though. Paul, thank you for the 5. And we're going to wrap up the stream real quick. 68% of you have said that it is its own thing, a prequel. And 68% of you are fucking wrong. 68% of you are wrong because Madison is always right. But we're going to end the poll there so that I can sleep in my bed tonight. But anyways,
Madison is the best.
Madison is the best. We love Madison. I'm getting the evil eyes. So we got to wrap this thing up. But Knight, before we tune out, I will say, please subscribe to the Night Watch Zone. His channel is awesome. We do this back and forth between pages, a little kill zone. So I will be on his channel next Thursday. So please stop on by. It's going to be a fun time. Knight, do you got any crazy projects coming up?
Man, it's been, as well as anyone is, in my YouTube life, it's been a crazy couple months, and we're through the holidays and stuff, and I'm just having so much fun doing this with you. I'm having so much fun on Mondays, doing the collective. It's really been great, community wise, and us as friends, as brothers. I just released my Halloween 5 rant video, which I had been stewing on it for a while, pun intended. And so, I went off on Halloween 5, so I was happy to get that out. And I've got a couple of streams coming up, and just having some fun. I got to get you on for my podcast soon. I know we talked about it. I've been lazy about it too, but I'm really excited to because I even have the ideas in my head about some stuff that would be really fun to pick your brain about. So other than that, it's status quo, doing a couple of streams a week and hanging out with my bros like you.
Dude, 100%. We're going to have to do it because a lot of weird topics that I want to get into outside of just Scream Talk, of course,
Yep.
So we're going to have to do it soon. I'm going to have to watch that Halloween 5 video because I love Cookie Woman.
Oh, dude.
I love it.
I'm not even going to say anything else, but there's certain things that had to be talked about. And, but it was fun to do. And like I said, the holidays have just been so busy and a lot of stuff going on. So I had been stewing on doing that for a while, and I finally just put it together and I just got it out today, and I was like, okay, it's out there. Great. And it's just one of those things.
Well, guys, check it out, and the Cookie Woman will deliver her good, tasty treats. So, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We greatly appreciate you. We will see you on Killzone next week, and even before that, Lethal Collective Monday. I don't remember whose channel it's on, but it's happening. Fate. Okay, it's on Fate's channel next Monday. So stop on by Fate's channel, then Night Watch Zone channel on Thursday, baby. It'll be a good time. But so much love to you all, everybody. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all, and goodbye. Peace out.